everyone, or good afternoon, actually. Bear with me here. So, yeah, because of the wind, it is literally impossible for me to get any kind of proper zoom on this ship without it shaking like hell. I have experimented with it at length and nothing has happened. So I am out here at the sea wall. We have fishermen here and that sort of thing hanging out with no idea what's about to hit them. This is gonna be something else. Yeah, it is strange because yesterday's wind was nothing at all. The sky was clear. Hello, everybody. It's something else. So yeah, this is looking very promising, guys. By the way, if you people doing the chats, if you would be so kind, let me know from Lab Padre, my friends there. You're probably watching them. Let me know where we are in terms of a countdown, where we are how long we have. My understanding is we are half an hour away. Half a damn hour. Oh, another reason that I'm doing it this way is because it's I'm going to be able to track this thing a hell of a lot better if I'm not using if I'm not using a zoom lens. I'll lose track of this thing and it will just be a disaster. There's still people at the pad. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, sad. Well, anyway, pad not clear. That's just ridiculous. There's so many people who are saying like 2:30, 3:30. Nope, this is as zoomed in as I've got, guys. My zoom lens it's just going to create a ridiculously shaky image that is going to suck. And believe me, I've been experimenting with it all day and it's just been a disaster. So all I can say is this is what it looks like when you're watching it live and you don't have binoculars or anything like that. And let me tell you something, when this thing lights, you will see it, because I did see a static fire under the same circumstances and it lit up the sky. It lit up the sky. So yeah, it was something else. So even without all of even without the zoom in and all the incredible, hear I hear half an hour, I hear 3:30, and this is Central Time, which would be 4:30 Eastern Time or 8:30 Greenwich Mean Time. So I don't, yeah, Scrubby. That would be a very good name for it. A very good name. Let's call it a Scrubby. What does a seawall look like? Geez, I am afraid to even move this thing. It's taken me forever just to line it up to where, but it's just a bunch of rocks. That's all it is. It's a bunch of rocks designed to protect us, to protect the community from a storm surge. So I am right on the seawall. I am as close physically, almost as close physically as you can get to this thing, unless you were at the unless you were, at worked for SpaceX or something like that. There are SpaceX employees out here, by the way. My next upload will hopefully be in the next day or two. I am. It depends if SN15 flies today, then I need to put together a reaction tape. I already have things planned. The titles are SN15 Sticks the Landing or SN15 Baboom number 5. I already have my captions all ready. So yeah, I've got everything planned. It kind of reminds me of that Superman movie way back in the 70s. or 80s or something like that, where they were putting out newspaper templates of Paris saved, Paris destroyed. They didn't really care if Paris got destroyed. They just wanted to see what the newspaper looked like. Anyway, so what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But yeah, big disclaimer. This is a joke when you compare it to what Lab Padre can do, but I am living up to my promise. I said that I was going to come see this thing launch and do as good of a job as I could for you. And I've decided that really tracking this thing up into the sky, trying to use a telephoto lens, I'm just gonna lose it. I'm just gonna lose it. So anyway, what are you gonna do? But I hope all of you can at least see Starship. It's right in the center of your view, that little black thing right there. Oh, there's a new Blue Origin video. I didn't even know. Or which one? Is it the New Shepard one, or did they put out something else? So far, all I know about is their New Shepard. The fact that they're taking Colorado, my favorite state, just because I'm from there. If it's about that they're taking passengers, that they're starting to sign up passengers, ooh, big deal. Who really cares, right? It's just it really doesn't matter. So anyway, I'm waiting to see this thing take off. And you will, like I say, even from this perspective, you're going to see it. You're going to see it flare up. And I've got plenty of collaborators here who have much better equipment than I do. And they are going to let me use it. So I'll be able to post something later on that's going to look a lot better. So really, I'm just trying to do my best, live up to my promise, come here, see the launch, and at least allow you guys to actually see it fly the way a Boca Chica, or rather a South Padre Island resident, would see it if they weren't using mega binoculars. A lot of people are just sitting out here, sunglasses on, they're just going to watch it happen. And let me tell you something, when it does happen, just seeing a static fire with my naked eyes was amazing. So I can't imagine what this is going to look like when it launches, and it will be super easy for me to track with this. So that is my plan. That's my evil plan. So we'll see what's here. So anyway, but while I'm online with you folks, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. The next video that I intend to do that isn't about Starship is about, is Jeff Bezos right? Is the tagline. And the reason I'm asking that question is he right about Mars? Is he right that, thank you so much for the super chat. That was very nice. Is he right about Mars? Is going to Mars just as horrible as living on top of Mount Everest, but even worse? And so anybody who wants to live on Mars is insane. Is he right about that? Well, obviously he's Jeff Bezos, and I am not going to like what he says. As a matter of fact, I think he's a moron for saying that. And also he's putting the human race at risk. Yes, I will go that far. He's putting the human race at risk by saying stupid shit like that, because we need to go to another planet. We need to become a multiplanetary civilization. Eventually, someday, some cataclysm will strike our planet, and we will be rendered extinct if we do not exist someplace else. It is as simple as that. Elon is right about this. I don't always agree with the guy, but he is 100% right about this. And in that video, I am going to prove why Elon is right about this, and how we could live on Mars, and how it would be hard, but it wouldn't be hell. It wouldn't be the hell that everybody says it would be. It would be an adventure like no other. So give you guys a little bit of spoilers. I'm going to go into detail on the Valles Marineris, on all the volcanoes, that sort of thing. Hyperloop, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a really interesting idea. I think it's going to be a tough thing to accomplish. I think it's easier to accomplish on Mars, to be honest, than on this planet. But nevertheless, I think that it is a very good idea for transportation. Oh, so anyway, we are still waiting. Unfortunately, you know what? You're right. Starship is better for the moon. It'll land on the moon a lot safer because there's no atmosphere. Therefore, you don't have to deal with the whole belly flop thing on the moon. You just decelerate and land. It's a lot easier to do that. So anyway, that's my opinion as far as that's concerned. So, thanks. Let's see. How do I convince my friend that we are able to survive the flight to Mars? Keeps insisting that the time delay, microgravity, we can't go to Mars. We have had more than one person that spent almost a year in microgravity. And come back down. I have spoken directly. Jessica Mayer, an astronaut who spent over 6 months in microgravity, the amount of time that astronauts would spend on a trip to Mars. She said when she came back down, it was like a heavy weight was pressing down on her for a few days, but that's it. And she was walking around just fine. And it was just a few months after returning, and she returned to one full G, not 1/3 G. Returning to 1/3 G on Mars is going to be way easier for these astronauts after 6 months of microgravity. There is absolutely no reason why 6 months of microgravity would stop us from going to Mars. We might have to stay in the ship for a day or two, getting accustomed, but it's going to be way easier as long as you keep up your exercise regimen. That's one thing Jessica told me. Keep up your exercise regimen every single day, she said, and it really wasn't that hard. And she said she would go back today if she could. And I just happened to run into her by random chance when I was at the airport near the Stennis test. Here's a boat going through the restricted zone. Bunch of tourists. Oh boy, Starship, yay. When's it gonna go? And then they're going to reach the end of their tour and not see it take off and pay money. So for those of you who are saying, oh man, I'm watching this terrible view of Starship and I'm getting ripped off. Well, not as bad as these guys are going to get ripped off. Anyway, so yeah, we're definitely getting there. By the way, I when I saw a static fire, incidentally, you may spot porpoise in the water. Keep your eyes open. There's a lot of porpoise here. It is really really cool how many of them hang out in this harbor. Ooh, I did one just, yeah, there in the view. There it is. Cool. Porpoise. Woohoo. I'm sorry. I love dolphins, porpoise, etc. They are so awesome. They are so awesome. I love those guys. They are beyond friendly. Really, really friendly to swim around with and all that sort of thing. I have a friend who wanted to be a marine biologist, never really got the chance, sadly, but she swam with dolphins a lot. And yeah, it's awesome stuff. It's really awesome. Well, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I hope it sticks a landing too. Let me talk about this. It's important, so important that it sticks a landing, because let me tell you, the Blue Origin attorneys are watching this right now, and they are watching with bated breath and just praying that this thing blows up. Because if it blows up, they can go to the GAO and say, see, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's still got a long ways to go. They're never going to be able to land this thing on the moon for a long time. And yes, the lunar starship is different, but it needs tanker starships in order to get to the moon. So they're going to say, nope, see, it doesn't work. So you need to give the contract to us. That's going to be their argument. So this thing needs to stick the landing. It's so important. It's so important. So we'll see what happens. We shall see. Boy, the wind is high. Just had my sunglasses blown off. Yeah, like I say, it's just not practical for zoom in. You guys would just get seasick, air, whatever motion sickness, and just go over to Lab Padre or to NASA spaceflight anyway. They just do this better than I do. All I'm going to do is just talk, via my perspective on things. And then when this thing takes off, it's still going to look really cool. Even from this perspective, I've seen a static fire with my naked eyes from here, and it blew my mind. And that was just a little bitty static fire. This is going to be beyond crazy. Thank you so much. Such a glare I can't even necessarily see. As much as I understand. Hold on. Understand it. SN15 blows up. Seeing it's a prototype. Yeah, and I agree with you. If it blows up, that doesn't mean that there's a problem. But you got to remember, lawyers don't think like we do. Government employees don't think like we do. The GAO may see it differently. They may say, okay, you're right. Starship has a long ways to go before it's going to be able to practically refuel several times in orbit. So let's go ahead and reconsider this contract. So yeah, SN15 needs to stick this landing. It's important. And if you want something that is going to be different than other channels, if this blows up, if there's an RUD, I am definitely going to be cussing. You're not going to get that on another channel because I am not going to be happy. I'll probably be cussing if it lands successfully too, in disbelief. So yeah, it's quite amazing. We'll see what happens. Is it true? Hold on. I'm sorry. I think it's going to launch. I don't know why. I just have a good feeling about it. I have a good feeling about it. I'm feeling pumped. I'm feeling like this thing is going to go. I can't zoom. I'm very sorry, guys. This YouTube thing doesn't let me zoom. The only thing that I have is a lens, a telephoto lens that I could put on this. And then if I did that, this image would be shaking around so much you would start vomiting. There's just no reason to watch this if you want to see a super good image of the starship. Head over to Lab Padre. They're going to do a way better job than me when it comes to that. What I'm here to do is just provide some commentary and show you what a launch is going to look like when, if you come here to visit and you don't have super expensive equipment and stuff like that. That's just kind of, how the, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, actually. The comment was just made that if they don't pick SpaceX for the contract, SpaceX will speed up. Yeah, I agree. I said a year ago when this contract first came out that I hoped that SpaceX would not win it because then the government would get their fingers into Starship and you have to deal with all of NASA's hoops that you got to jump through and all this other nonsense, and just not cool. Just not cool. So I would not be disappointed actually if SpaceX didn't end up getting the contract, because then they can just do whatever the hell they want. And that is Elon's style, doing whatever the hell he wants. He doesn't like being held back. And that's exactly what NASA would do. So he just needs to get there. I think it would be in his benefit to get there on his own. That's my opinion. I mean, it is $3 billion, but At the same time, though, if he doesn't get a contract, if Blue Origin gets the contract, we could have some dead astronauts on the moon. That's how messed up and how garbage their lander is. So it's a two-edged sword. Uh, he wants the contract to piss off you. Yeah, and also, it's a competition between him and Jeff Bezos. After all, I mean, he's not. It's as well. I said this yesterday. Elon posted a tweet that said, "Can't get it up," and then in parentheses, "to orbit," to Jeff Bezos. I mean, I can't believe that he insulted him like that in public. Oh man, can't get it up to orbit. That was just too much. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. So yeah, that was just pad clear. All right. We're getting close. We're getting close. So we'll see what happens here. Hey, and some good news, guys. I've got an arrangement made with one of my supporters to use some live feeds from maybe some other sources, NASA, that sort of thing, to maybe do some commentary on launches from other locations. So we've got good things coming. We got some quality stuff coming. I also met a young fellow who, Derek Wise. Derek Wise, remember that name? He produces some of the most amazing SpaceX shorts you have ever seen in your life that he films himself. Oh my dear God, that guy produces some incredible stuff. Falcon 9 launches and the smoothness. His equipment is second to none. Wow. So anyway, head on over there and subscribe to his channel because the quality of his work is beyond belief. Like I say, I was fortunate enough to meet him recently, and he is awesome. Yeah, pad clear, pad clear. Yeah, there's a kite surfer, and here goes another. No, yeah, that's another tourist boat, I think. All these people running around in restricted area. There's a kite surfer actually right off to my left too, and a fishing boat that you guys are going to be seeing shortly. Fishing trawler that's heading out. I think they're taking advantage of the brief amount of time they have available before this thing launches. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. But yeah, we've got people, like I say, just doing normal stuff, normal beach stuff. And I really don't think they know what's about to hit them. It's interesting. So that boat should be coming into view here shortly. Thank you for the super chat. I've just been kind of hanging out and looking without even looking at the screen. Thank you so much. Yeah, the weather has improved dramatically. There is some cloud cover, little ways up, so I think Starship will probably disappear into the clouds, and then I'll have to keep a sharp eye out for it, a weather eye out for it, mate, to hopefully see it come back down and attempt to make its landing. So it's going to be something else. I am just losing my mind. And like I say, in the future on my channel, when I do my analysis of this flight, you're going to be seeing much better footage, mostly from Mars Embassy, maybe some other folks. So yeah, here goes our kite surfer. Woo-hoo! Yay! I'm in restricted airs, restricted space. Yay! Anyway, um, thank you. Oh wow, I appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. I will. I will never ever forget where my supporters are. Oh, thank you so much, Mel. Let's see here. You think Bezos? Hold on. There's a question here on this one. Bezos is regretting not proposing a lunar New Shepard for the HLS contract. You know what? I think he's perfectly fine with what he proposed. I think he believes that he proposed the perfect solution. And all he needs to do is just to get his lawyers to convince the government accounting office that he proposed the perfect solution, and that's going to be it. He did that with the Jedi defense system, and yes, it is called Jedi, saying that his satellite should be doing that as well. He has that mired in legal battles right now. It is his MO. He does this stuff all the time. So no, I don't think he's regretting anything. I think he thinks he's got the perfect solution, and yeah, if you read the protest from Blue Origin, the whole list, the entire list of the protest, it attacks everything NASA said. It says NASA was wrong about everything they said in their review. Is what they said. They just attack every little thing. And like I say, they are damn lucky that NASA did not identify two of the biggest problems with the Blue Origin lander, which was thank you, its lack of reusability and its dangerous 10-meter ladder. One thing that Neil Armstrong said was that, going up and down the ladder on Apollo, which was super easy compared to this, super crazy easy, to what Blue Origin has. He said it took a lot of practice and a lot of practice and a lot of patience. And that was that little bitty ladder on Apollo. 10 meters, that is so different. The SN15 is just to the right of that little hill that is in the center of the view. I can't zoom in anymore, guys. That is as far as the thing will go. If you look, there's a little kind of like two hills in the center of the view, and then right to the right of it is a little gray thing sticking up. It's obscured by the haze to some degree, but that is SN15 right there. When it lights, you'll see it clear as day. It's just gonna light up like a firecracker. So that will be very clear. But like I say, I don't. Go over to Lab Padre. Go check out their view if you want quality, views of this. They do a way better job than I ever possibly could. I've said that for a million years. It's just, if you want to have a look at, how this looked with the naked eye, and listen to my commentary, then hang out here. Otherwise, there's no point in hanging out here. I freely admit that. I freely admit that. I'm here because I promised I would be here. I want to see this happen, and I'm going to check this out, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. The noise will be amazing. That's another thing, guys. I have better audio now, so you guys, I'll point the mic straight at that thing, and you will hear some very awesome noise coming from it. It definitely puts out quite a rumble, especially at this distance. So it's going to be amazingly cool. I'm very excited about that, no doubt, no doubt. So yeah, let's hope. Let's hope. We're still waiting for news. Thank you so much. Oh, another super chat came in. What was that? All my hairs in my face. Boom. Foom, you're my hero. Thank you so much, Foom. Oh my lord, thank you so much, Foom. Really appreciate that. Like I said, you guys have done so much. I've tried to just to, give you guys, views from the pad, shots of, the flight termination system up close, and the Starlink dish and the lift trucks working on the FTS, all that kind of stuff. It is something else. It is indeed something else. So yeah, it's thanks everybody who's just jumping in and who's that? Steam. I may have. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I do. Steam. Yeah, I'm like I say. Oh, and by the way, I am in a mood to start a viral rumble, a fight. Look what I brought to the beach. Oh yes, I am in the interest of gathering as much media attention as possible as people come over here to kill me. Um, but the folks at Dynetics are some of the most wonderful people I have ever worked with. They were so accommodating, and I want to make one thing perfectly clear: regardless of whether they have a lander going to the moon or not, they are involved in Artemis anyway, because their work is all through the second stage of SLS. They are very experienced in space activities, and they are going to the moon either way. Either way. Um, yeah, I'm definitely I'm gonna get jumped. Yep, I probably will. Like I said, I was brought that here to create a to create a viral confrontation for people to kill me. But I bring a Blue Origin pack. I think that probably would have provoked people more. But never would I do that unless I set it on fire. Oh, by the way, guys, another announcement on this, and yes, I've made this before. When I get to 90,000 subscribers, I am going to do a dual launch of a Boeing Cup and a Blue Origin Cup simultaneously. It is going to be awesome. I am going to launch both of those coffee cups and blow the living hell out of them. Simultaneous launch when I hit 90,000 subs. So everybody smash that subscribe button. And you will get to see the utter destruction of Blue Origin and Boeing merchandise, which I think would be just funny as all get out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 5 euros, if I'm seeing that right. Boy, I just wild Atlantic man, is that right? Okay, really do appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. Oh wow. So anyway, um, just waiting. It's there was a lot of word that this was going to be any minute, any minute, any minute. And then you know still stuff at the pad, still delays, whatever. I am driving straight to Houston after this is done. So my flight leaves out of Houston tomorrow. So yeah, I've got a busy time ahead of me. Tourist boat, here they are again, paying huge amounts of money to see nothing that they couldn't see from right here at the seawall, since this thing is still not going to take off. Oh, I forgot to tell you my funny story. When I saw a static fire here a couple times ago, the static fire went off and 2 tour boats came racing out here as fast as they could because they thought that a launch was happening. And of course, by the time they got out here, the static fire was all done, and all these people that paid all this money saw nothing, utterly nothing. 2 tourist boats were coming out as fast as they could go after a static fire to see nothing. And yeah, that was amusing. And I just got to ask myself, why are you people not keeping up with this stuff? Why don't you understand what this stuff means? So I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I say, I don't run their businesses, so. But anyway, it does fill me with confusion. Um, so we'll see what happens here. I'm going to go ahead and see if anybody is anybody on Lab Padre or NSF right now. Where are we at the moment? Final check. Final checkouts. Are we really close at this point? Like I said, I don't want to just keep you guys looking at mostly nothing. Pad clear. Final check. Okay, well we're coming then. Yeah. We could have a launch. Oh my god. Like I said, I had a good feeling about it for some reason this morning, and then wow, maybe my fingers are and toes are crossed. This will be an astonishing sight indeed if it does go right now. So, like I say, if you watch it here, you'll get to see how it looks, how it really looks from South Padre. What people who are sitting here in their lawn chairs actually get to see. You know, I think that'll make that should be kind of neat. At least I think it would be. So to get to experience, get to an accurate view of what this launch actually looks like. It's a very, very clear day for the most part. The only reason that there's a problem is at the horizon level, you're always going to have a lot of haze because of humidity. Humidity is always going to create visual haze at great distances, and I'm at a distance of about 9.5 kilometers, something like that. So, it's just you're going to have a lot of interference as a result. What are you going to do? So we'll just we'll continue to wait for this to happen, and I will continue to answer questions. So I will keep checking things occasionally. Sometimes I'm yeah, the new Glenn is out. I don't know if new Glenn will ever come out, to be honest. I'm hoping it doesn't actually. I'm kind of hoping, as I've said this in my videos, I'm hoping that ULA just buys out Blue Origin for those BE4 engines. They just merge with them. I don't want them to, a lot of people to lose their jobs. I just think that Tori Bruno would do a much better job running that company. I think that would be, a loop-to-loop landing. Well, if it does that will be a disaster. Obviously, that will be an RUD and a half, definitely. So it's kind of windy, not that bad. I mean, right at the ocean. And believe me, I'm actually very happy for the wind. I'm very grateful for the wind. But at the same time, I don't want to. I don't want to. I, I don't want the wind to scrub the launch. That would be an utter disaster. Guys, I need to take a short break. You're going to hear a fair amount of wind because I'm going to plug in my camera real quick to try to give it some recharge. The last thing I want is for this thing to die. So you'll still be able to hear it. I'm just going to see where I am in terms of current charge on this right now. So bear with me for one moment. Guys, it's at 78%. I'm going to let it charge for just a few minutes. If you want to go someplace else for a little while, whatever, check out NASA Space Flight or Lab Padre, whatever, feel free to do so. I will be right back. I'm just going to let it charge. I don't want this thing to die on me before the launch happens. That would be utterly disastrous. And unfortunately, the U.S. BC port is also how this thing charges. It's a huge. I've also got a pass through. I don't have it with me. Damn it! I got so excited about coming here. Just made some silly mistakes, but anyway. All right, so I will take some time and see where we are. You heard anything?
Be quiet.
Yeah. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to let this thing take a little bit more of a charge. I'll be right back. Any news?
They were loading at 2:40. I thought it was going to be at 2:30, but they're loading it already.
So they're loading the fuel right now.
I'm assuming maybe 3.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm back. All right. So anyway, the word is the fuel is being loaded right now. For those of you who are watching, Lab Padre or whatever, I'm sure that you guys are more in the know than I. But the fuel is currently being loaded. So who knows? We could have a launch here in the next, maybe 45 minutes, something like that. I don't know. It's interesting stuff though, but there is significant wind still at ground level. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, oh, it's really not that bad. It's just humid. And my just salt loaded in my hair, all that kind of stuff. No big deal, but still, it feels. There comes a point where you feel like your face is just caked in salt. For those of you who haven't spent a lot of time by an ocean, it's once you've been there for a while, it really does start to. The salt really does start to accumulate. It is a point that a fellow from Costa Rica made actually was the fact that the Starship, even though stainless steel doesn't rust really, it's the other components are being exposed to salt nonstop. It's like they need to get this thing off the pad as soon as possible before components start to deteriorate. Given the location that they've chosen, there is a lot of salt in the air and a lot of degradation from the environment. Just a point that he made, and sadly, the poor guy had to leave. It was the last day that he could stay, and this was Friday. I had to leave. I felt for him. I really did. It was sad to come all the way from another country, all the way from Central America. Just sorry. Uh, Stay hydrated. That's another thing for people thinking about coming out here. Stay hydrated. I have no intention of coming back here until the fall. Let me tell you, I can't imagine trying to watch one of these launches in the summer. Oh dear Lord. Some people are used to it. Some people can handle it. Not my sorry Colorado ass. I would not be able to handle it. It's just I'm so used to dry weather. Even though I live in South Carolina, I just have never gotten used to it. Never, 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 never. Let's see. Any successful landings they can fully evaluate. Yeah, they do. Absolutely. fully, successful landing means they can check everything that happened and check the systems, check the heat tiles, very important. Check to make sure the heat tiles are in good shape, that they can stand the launch vibrations. They won't go through max Q. They will not go through max Q at that altitude, but they will. They at least can get some idea of how well the mounting system works for the heat tiles. That's important. And they don't get any of this stuff. They don't get any of this information when this thing blows to bits. So they've got to have a landing for so many reasons. It's not just the contract. They've got to make sure that this thing lands successfully so that they can actually evaluate its performance. And they can't do that if it blows to bits. Telemetry only gives you so much information. You've got to actually check a ship out, check every component, check every wire, check every bit of its software, etc., after the flight in order to make sure that everything held up well during the flight and that there's nothing to correct or nothing to fix. If the thing blows to bits, then you don't get that. So the landing is important on so many levels. And God, I hope this lands. And by the way, guys, if it does land successfully, to start off with, for one thing, you're going to hear me go nuts, but I'm going to continue filming for a while. In the event that it pulls an SN10 on us and blows up a few minutes later, I'm going to continue filming just to make sure that we don't have an explosion subsequently. So I'll catch that in case something does indeed happen. Texas resident, hello. What a good spots to watch. Well, I'm at the seawall right now. I'm sitting on a big old rock right now at the seawall, close to the park, close to the pavilion. The pavilion's a good spot. They have a fence there. It's elevated to where you can see over a lot of the other spectators. But given that I was, not going to be able to have much of a zoom, sadly, my camera can zoom way better. The camera can zoom better than YouTube lets it zoom. It sucks. But anyway, I'm stuck with it. What am I going to do? So anyway, the pavilion, there's a fence there. You can set up equipment, etc. there. You can park at the pavilion and put your equipment on the roof of your car. If you've got really good, expensive equipment, there's a lot of things that you can do. It's just unfortunately, a couple $1,000s on equipment. My channel isn't successful enough for that yet. I'm sorry, it just isn't. The trips cost me a couple grand as it is, and it's because of you guys that this has happened. By the way, because of your help, this has happened. And thank you so much for that, that I've been able to stay out here so long. You guys are the best fans on YouTube. Thank you so much. So anyway, enough of that. Enough of my issues. Okay, let's see. You have windsurfers. Okay, Boeing rant. Oh yeah, that's an easy one. Boing. Yeah, the Starliner is, of course, my favorite. They'll be launching that in theory unmanned in the fall. My favorite thing was their little complaint that, oh no, the Dragon and the cargo Dragon are going to be occupying all the available docking ports on the ISS. That's why we can't get up there. Oh, really? Well, there was an open spot in April, in early April. Why didn't you take advantage of that? Oh, because your software still wasn't ready after 16 months after your unmanned test. It still wasn't ready to go. Geez, I wonder whose fault is that. So yeah, no, let's not put this on SpaceX. Let's not put this on the Texas weather. Let's put this on your incompetent software people. That is where this belongs. The Starliner was supposedly ready for manned transportation 16, 17 months ago. That's when it was supposed to be carrying human beings. Here we are, and it's not going to be an unmanned test, isn't going to go up until August. And this has an impact on the ISS because the Starliner is capable of space station reboost. it can reboost a space station. That's an important function for the ISS. It's necessary. The Crew Dragon cannot do that. The Cargo Dragon cannot do that. It doesn't have enough fuel remaining in its design. So that was one of the main functions of the Starliner as a backup. First of all, a backup to Crew Dragon, and number two, as an ability to reboost the ISS. Nope, sorry, we're still dependent on the Russians and still dependent on super expensive cargo ships like the Cygnus that's being launched not that long from now by a Northrop Grumman Pegasus rocket, I believe. So an expendable rocket launching an expendable cargo ship. I don't know how much that's going to cost NASA, but it's going to be a pretty penny just so that they can reboost the station. Unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. And it's all on them. It's just, and also, the SLS, if they're super lucky, they're going to get an opportunity to launch by the end of the year. They will kind of redeem themselves if they can launch by the end of the year. But at the same time, this thing's gone so far over budget. It's using antiquated technology. But if they do manage to launch this year and orbit the moon and carry out their mission successfully, in that respect, the SLS will have partially redeemed itself. At least we'll know that all the tax money that's been spent on these multiple SLS rockets that have been purchased, at least we'll know that it's going to work out, that we are going to get to the moon with this stinking rocket. And then we replace it with Starship. Once we're out of SLSs, once we're out of the ones that have been prepaid by the American government, then we go with Starship and, leave SLS in the dust. That's what we need to do. Fuel Starship on top of the super heavy. The super heavy will only get the tanker Starship to orbit, and it actually has to detach substantially before it gets to orbit. The Starship itself, the tanker Starship, uses the vast majority of its fuel to reach LEO, and then the remainder of its fuel to dock, and just has a little bit of fuel left for a landing at the end. So super heavy gets the tanker Starship into orbit, and then all the tanker has left is the 100 tons worth of fuel that it can carry in its fairing. That's why it takes so many tanker refills, is because, Starship can carry 1,300 tons worth of fuel. And thank you so much for the super chat. 1,300 tons worth of fuel. Really do appreciate that, Patrick. 1,300 tons worth of fuel, and they can only refuel it 100 tons at a time. It is inefficient, and I think that they need to go with a propellant depot, which is something that ULA wants. That's what Tori Bruno wants, is a propellant depot. So we'll see what ends up happening. Thank you so much, Patrick. Appreciate it, and cheers to Australia. Love you guys. Some of my best supporters are Australians. Wonderful people. Wonderful people. So yeah, I'll be right back. Once again, I checking my charge just to make sure that I don't want to go dead. I don't want to go dead. I'm in the middle of this, so bear with me. All right, 72%, guys. I'm going to give it a few minutes, just a few minutes. In the meantime, if you can hear me, I'll yell. It's called a sea wall because it's supposed to defend against a surge, a tidal surge from a hurricane. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't know can you hear me? I know I don't have that microphone hooked up, but if you can hear me. Okay, great. Yeah, it's you're gonna get a lot more wind noise and stuff like that because I have the microphone disconnected. But yeah, it's a seawall in order to protect against tidal surges from hurricanes and major storms. And it is a huge pile of rocks. As soon as the launch is over, I'll show you what it looks like. But that is where I am. This is as close as I am allowed to get. There is an exclusion zone of approximately 10 kilometers around the starship. Civilians are not allowed to come closer. SpaceX employees can, but I cannot. Only 16 RS-25s, and then what? More RS-25 engines have been ordered at an insane price, millions and millions and millions of dollars. They're being ripped off by. Seriously, NASA's being ripped off on that. But more RS-25s are being built beyond the 16 to take care of the SLSs that have been ordered thus far. It is so annoying because the RS-25 is a great engine, really very good in terms of its reusability. And I think we should use something like smart recovery, a parafoil recovery system to get those RS-25s back rather than letting them plunge into the sea. That is just unacceptable. And you know what? We've got a long time until 2024. Maybe they could come up with a way to do it if they actually tried, but they're not. They're just not. It's just annoying. So anyway. But yeah, the same company's building them, Aerojet Rocketdyne, same company that built the RS-25 before, and they're supposedly cheaper because they're not reusable. Whatever, I forget the exact cost, but it's insane. Look it up sometime. RS-25 cost, new RS-25. It will make your jaw hit the ground how much money the American taxpayer is getting charged for those stupid things. Let's see, perhaps they could use Raptors. The RS-25 is more powerful than the Raptor, and also it utilizes liquid hydrogen fuel and liquid oxygen, of course, for the oxidizer. And so that would require a complete rebuild of their entire fuel system, which would take Boeing probably about 1,000 years. So yeah, I just don't think it would work out. Unfortunately, it kind of has to still be the RS-25. It's an engine we're familiar with, and it's an engine that's been really reliable. So it makes sense to go with them. I just wish we could recover them. I wish that we had thought about recovering them, because it could have been done, but just didn't. It's wasteful. $1 to $2 billion a launch, ridiculous, just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not a fan when it comes to that. But the ones that we've already paid for, let's just go ahead and use those, and then we'll be done. And we will be done. Upper atmosphere, as far as I know, is nominal. But once again, that is, as you can see, even this image is shaking from the wind at this level. So I don't know. I really don't know. It's a very big question. Okay, I'm gonna hook in my mic again. I'm back. Okay. So you don't have to deal with as much wind and ambient noise and stuff like that. Although I don't know, I might disconnect the mic for the launch, because I think that the normal mic is gonna pick this up big time. I think it's gonna be very interesting as far as that's concerned. Um, so we'll see. We'll definitely see. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Yup. The RS-25 is the new RS-25s that they're building are insanely expensive, ridiculously expensive, and they need to recover them. They need to come up with a system of recovery, like the smart recovery system for the Vulcan Centaur. You know, yeah, maybe it'll take a little bit more effort, but it's worth it because look how much those stupid engines are. And the RS-25 is one of the most reliable, reusable engines that's ever been created. It's never ever had a failure in use in since Columbia was first launched. Those 16 RS-25s that they have in storage now, not once, never have they had a failure, ever. So that being the case, those are solid engines. We should recover them. Damn it. But we're not. Like I say, one of the many things about SLS that makes no sense at all. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff I need. Definitely a lot of stuff I could use right now. What I could use right now is a launch. Has anybody okay, can anybody tell me where we are with the Lab Padre guys and all that? What's their feelings on the matter, etc. Where are we? That sort of thing. Ooh. Anybody tell me? Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. People recognize me out here a lot. Just cleared. Final checkout still. Oh boy. All right. Load that propellant. Light that damn candle. Come on. Come on. Don't you know I'm out here watching? No, I don't think they have much respect for that, really. Uh, uh, bad clear. Yeah, I'm famous. Yeah, it's strange. People do recognize me a lot more than I ever thought they would. It's pretty awesome, pretty awesome. I'm deeply humbled. I really am. I never thought that this would take off like this. I'm so happy that I get to be my own boss. I'm deeply grateful to my viewers. You guys are just beyond awesome. I have nothing else to say. The best viewers, the best supporters on YouTube. Period. Um, just love you folks. So anyway, let's see here. Okay, so we are. Thank you. Thanks so much. Boca Chica gal is very nice. She's a lovely lady. Lovely lady. I got to talk to her for a while yesterday, and just asking her some questions and things like that. And she's definitely, this is something that she's embraced. Because I mean, I don't know if this is ever something that she has been into in the past or not. I really have no idea. I know that she likes horses. Horses are her thing in a big way. And so she lives, kind of out on a ranch in an isolated place in Texas, with horses, and riding and that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden, here comes Elon Musk and his huge operation. And instead of getting mad about it, she embraced it and found a way to make a living off of it, which is awesome. Props to Boca Chica gal. She's really really amazing, really really nice. So yeah, it's been very fun meeting and talking to all these people. The Lab Padre crew, talked to them for a long time when they were out here taking some shots and all that. So yeah, there's very nice people that I've been lucky enough to meet as a result of what we do. Thanks, guys. I really do appreciate your support. It's amazing. You folks are amazing. Okay, so not sure where we are. I just know that we have 3:30. 3:30. How? What time is it now? What time is it now? Supposedly 15 minutes. Supposedly 15 minutes. Oh, my dear God in heaven. Really? Oh my lord. If it is indeed that, I am going to lose my mind. Oh wow, what a thing that's going to be. Um, yeah, I don't think I know what I'm gonna say. Aside from the fact that I'm gonna lose my shit. I'll tell you that much. If I actually get to see this, that will be amazing. That will be amazing if it is indeed 15 minutes from now. Wow, that will be astonishing. Once again, this thing will climb to between 10 and 12.5 kilometers, and then it will attempt to set down belly flop, presumably, you never know if they're going to try some other different type of landing procedure. Belly flop landing, and then last second pull up, and we'll see what happens. That is the deal. That is the deal. If these scum buckets park right in front of my view, I am going to be really angry, beyond angry. No. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate that, Taurus. Okay. Um all right. So, yeah, it's coming. Supposedly. We'll see. But it's supposedly 15 minutes. And I've been online for 1 hour and 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Um so yeah, it's coming. Maybe, and like I say, it's 15 minutes, something like that. If it actually does go in that time frame, I will lose my shit. You guys are definitely gonna hear an excited, angry astronaut, no doubt. Um, Got a guy back here who's just dutifully doing his job, chopping down weeds with his weed whacker and stuff like that, not even paying attention. It's interesting to see how, the rest of the world just kind of reacts to this stuff. It's like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And they just go and do their stuff. It's interesting to see people like us are just completely going crazy over this, and everybody else is like, "What's that again? Why is it making all that noise?" It's just they're just I feel privileged that my uncle worked for NASA and he got me so into this when he did. Mm. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Such an important thing. That surfer is still out there. Wow. All I can say is he better hope that there's no air burst or anything like that. That shock wave is going to roll over him big time. Um, that could feel really unfortunate out there. The shock waves tend to travel pretty well across the water. Uh, that could be a sudden and unfortunate surprise. We'll see how that goes. Pad no longer cleared. Are you kidding me? No, 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 no. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. If there are indeed people back on the pad, then maybe oh God, cars heading back in, cars and trucks going back. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're done if that is indeed the case. Got cars and trucks heading back in. Cars and trucks heading back to the pad. Yeah. Guys, so yeah, if indeed that is the case, I'm not going to waste your time at this point. Just looking at substandard view at the moment, and I'm going to try to get an update on this, and then I'm going to come back online and try to find out. My suspicion would be we have another scrub. That would be my guess. Is we have yet another scrub. If that is indeed the case, then I'm headed to Houston, and that's life. That's space. So in any event, I will give you guys an update on a short, one of those little short things that they do. And in the meantime, stay angry about space.